All right. Welcome, Holy Ones. As we start this transmission of spirit, consciousness, realization, Machiwa. Welcome, all of you coming on in tonight as we talk about Christ, Christos, or Christ consciousness. This is something that's, you would say, the cornerstone, the center point of these teachings. And it's why it's called innerchristos. And that's why my channel, since it's based on the innerchristos, I call it Christos Avatar, which is actually a level of all the potential for all humans. It's actually very relevant. Christos Avatar, Christ Avatar. Realize avatar means 12th dimension, a level of consciousness. Christ, karasata. This is part of the energy, the frequency called Christos. And so this is coming from these teachings, right? So this is what we're going to, the perspective of Christ, Christos. The perspective is coming from the Emerald Order teachings. So I welcome all of you, newcomers and regulars. Speaking of which, let me say hello to the family. Looks like we got already people coming in. We got Starchild 369. Aloha, brother. Good to have you, man. We got Joel. Hey, how you doing? Sandra Boachman. Hello, Christos Avatar. Welcome, sister. Shroom Tea in the house. Holy, my boy. What's up, Holy One? Machiwa. You're holy too, man. What's up? Eddie family, Machiwa family. Good to have you regulars coming on in. We got our sister, Celine. Thank you, Machiwa sister, for you too as well. Thank you for being here regularly. So thank you for all of you members. Sandra's a member, Starchild's a member, Eddie's a member, Celine's a member, Sarah's. Welcome, Holy One, Machiwa sister. So glad to see you. Welcome. All right, our brother, Sir Madism. Welcome, brother. Good to have you, BJ. It's always a pleasure. Thank you also for being a member. Jasmina SM in the house. Thank you, sister, for being with us. Sandra, hello, everyone. Claudia B, aho, beautiful souls. You said it. And, because we say respectful, kind things. One of the 12 attitudes of mastery is reverent respect. We have reverent respect for all our brothers and sisters out here in the world, in the universe. Because I'm just hearing high-pitched noises. I hope they're normal and okay noises. So, yeah, we're representing the sacred universal law of one. And not everyone is. Okay, so the religions are not representing that. And even part of New Age is not. So this is something that we align with. This is something that we shift our energies towards and reclaim that part that we're trying to bring in. And so if you're not aware of Christ consciousness of the Christos, you're not bringing it in. This is something that you focus on, you understand in your energies, in your body, in your mind, your heart. You realize what it is. And we're not perfect down here, but we're striving for that higher self, that higher version of ourselves, which is the Christ, the Christos. Now, before people claim or say that we're New Age, we're not New Age, you guys. We're actually, if you haven't noticed, we talk about the distortions of New Age. And so people don't know what else to call us, maybe. So they just call us New Age. But this is a unique body of knowledge. And I found it in 2010, but it started way back in 1998, where it started being spoken about and reclaimed. Okay, so basically, it's been on the planet before, Christ consciousness, or the teachings of the inner Christos, the inner Christ, the inner God. And so, think about that. Not everyone is into that. Not everyone believes in that. Because, in religion, they believe believers only are connected to God, that you have to find salvation. You have to have a Messiah, or a priest, or a bishop, or a pope in between you and God. You guys, transmute. That's the old paradigm. That's ancient distortion. Okay, we're finding that the basic universal principles that all are created by the God, by the creator God, source God, God force. So if everything is created by God, it's part of the consciousness of God, part of the energy of God. Now, we're not trying to say we're all, you would say, good people or loving people, because we're not, because we're in the distortions of the hologram. And so we understand that, we realize that, and we're trying to strive to become better and greater to that level of ourselves, to that level of understanding and wisdom and code. It's something that it is possible to bring into our life, into our, speech, into our relationships, into our thinking. How, this is our compass, right? It's guiding us. Christ consciousness is guiding us. And has nothing to do with a sacrificed, mutilated, Messiah or anything. Not an animal, not a human. So this is, those noises are so, well, it is a Saturday night. There's going to be, there's farm animals over here. I know the people across the street have a giant pig. Yeah, it's one of those type of towns. But anyways, I'm always thinking about the black cats that live out there, and I didn't know it. I just found out last night that there's 3 black cats, but 2 of them are friends, and one of them's kind of like an outsider. This isn't his territory, but he's encroaching in. But anyways, and so Christ consciousness is talked about in detail in these teachings in the inner Christos law of one. Like, we have all these different videos series of the Emerald Order. We have different books, but they're on PDF form. And so there's sections in there that talk about the sacred universal law of one. And so it's not limited or focused on raw, because that's what the raw material is about, or they talk about law of one. But I'm just trying to make it clear that we're not based on that teachings from the 1970s. That's the source of that in material, which is based on a channeling source. So we talk about law of one, we talk about Christ consciousness from the Emerald Order point of view. That's where it's coming from. So, but there is a whole section about the sacred universal law of one. It's not even a deep, hard to understand concept. We're all one. And God, the creator, is, you would say, a consciousness field. Not some man, some dude, not a pronoun, not a male. You can say certainly not limited to that. God is beyond is in the matrix, but also beyond the matrix. God is everywhere, includes everything and everyone. And so that is important to understand Christ consciousness. Unity, law of one, is kind of like a prerequisite to understanding Christ consciousness. So let me finish saying hello, you guys. Gina Sutton, greetings, sister. Good to have you. Guys, I hope you say it guys, right? Welcome, Holy One. The Temper Laboratory. What is your take on Lord Shiva? Okay, so Shiva is one of those blue people. One of those blue gods. I put it in quotes because there's only one God. But notice Shiva is calling itself a Lord. It's calling itself God. But where's the other God? The God, right? It's an imposter. So you're asking me my opinion. Well, it's not an opinion. It's based on these teachings. So that's the first thing I want to say. That's the first red flag. A whole bunch of beings, according to the numbers, there's almost 33,000 different gods and goddesses being worshipped as God. That's a bunch of BS, man. It's a major distortion. I mean, the word God is truly misunderstood. The word God, how can there be more than one creator? There isn't. All of these beings claiming to be God are extraterrestrials, multidimensionals from other planets, other cultures, other people. And they are higher than the Earth system, so they come and proclaim themselves as gods. Now, most of these gods, including Shiva, are worse than humans while they're calling themselves gods. You see how it's distorted. So you would say that the reason, and it's very interesting, you know, some of the Hindu gods, because that's what Shiva is, it's one of the plural gods, it's nonsense. It's one of the Hindu gods. And notice that these Hindu gods have blue skin. Extraterrestrials have blue skin. God doesn't have a body. God doesn't have a penis because people think it's a male. God doesn't have a pronoun. God doesn't have blue skin. It's not limited to carbon silicate. That's what they are. Coming from fourth dimension, fifth dimension, or sixth dimension is carbon silicate matter. A carbon silicate matter is not source God supreme. Okay? It's a major distortion. And let's look at the properties of Shiva, right? And then we can check compared to Christ consciousness and unity consciousness. Shiva. Good question. So let me just get that open real quick. So most people can do is they can go check. And usually when you search for a God name, you see what is this God, what is the characteristics or the connections to this God, the qualities of this God. And we know that Shiva is called the destroyer. Destroyer. A God that murders, kills, destroys. Just like Yahweh, just like Allah, just like many of these gods, quotes, we call them godlets. They're not God. Just like 33,000 plus other godlets who have anger, burning anger, and who destroy, you guys. What do we learn in the Emerald Order teachings, in the inner Christ, inner God teachings? We learn that is phantom energy. That is anti-God energy, anti-Christos energy, anti-life. To kill is against life. To destroy. To be called, oh, that's my title, I'm the destroyer. Hello, red flag number 1. Besides calling itself God, so that's number 1. This is number 2. Red flag number 2. Any God, any being calling itself a destroyer is aligned with death, is aligned with phantom, which is another word for hell or Hades. The beings coming out of hell, Hades, phantom, are destroyers, are murderers, are sacrificers, are rapers. They're worse than humans. Shiva is worse than humans. That is my opinion. Jeshua. Unpredictable temper. Association with destruction and chaos. Acceptance of demons and outcasts. Complex morality. Addiction symbolism. Bang and intoxication. Anarchic behavior. I rest my case from the perspective of unity consciousness and Christ consciousness. Good question, but that is our answer. Jeshua. And I will be doing a video on the Hindu gods. And we don't, we break down all the gods, the Viking gods, the Hindu gods, the Hebrew god, the Christian god, the Viking gods. There's a whole bunch. Remember, there's 33,000 gods around this number. Some sick, twisted, because there's over 4,000 religions plus. So a lot of these religions have a bunch of gods. So when you add up all of these gods, that's what we're looking at. That's a lot of distortion. That's a lot of opinions of God. But God's not an opinion. There's divine right order. And that's what these teachings are based on law of one and divine right order. An angry God, a destroying God, is not the same as this energy, right? Jeshua. Looks like I got 2 windows open. I gotta be careful. Indigo Jamie in the house. Robin Kirk, hey Star Sister. Yeah, GTV, you said it. Gods, plural gods. There's no such thing. Welcome, Pianacita. Greetings, my sister, right? Bless you, sister. Thank you so much. Amber, I need a shave. I didn't shave today. Sorry, but thank you for your compliment. Bless you, sister. Steve, greetings all. Daphne B in the house. Jennifer Merva. Voodoo. Isn't that question self-explanatory? What is voodoo? It's cursing. It's voodoo dolls. It's black magic. That's an easy one. I don't even have to go into that one. But let me show you something interesting about voodoo. Shit. Okay. Honestly, I'm surprised you even asked that question, but let's no rock unturned, right? Voodoo. Hoodoo, do what? That's like something in Labyrinth. the little creatures jumping around with their heads coming off. Interesting video message, right? For little kids video move with the... Dude, I love Labyrinth, but there's occult things in there, just like there's occult things in a lot of kids, even Disney movies. Sexual perverted things in those movies as well. Right out in the artwork. In the artwork itself, you will see it. So let me switch to the PDF. PDF. And this is the Voyagers 2, Secrets of Amente PDF. I don't know if Voodoo's in here. Let me check. I don't know how to spell Voodoo. Voodoo. There we go. This is the Phantom Matrix. I just mentioned that before. You know, Shiva's friends in hell, Hades, Phantom Matrix. The lizard beings, the reptilians, the Omicron Draconians. This is where it's coming from. It is, Voodoo is coming from dragons. Dragon ETs. They brought it to our planet. It didn't come from Haitian, African, but it went into their beliefs. So the dragons are associated with voodoo. The fallen angelics are the ones who brought us voodoo. There you go. They also brought us Roman Catholic belief systems. They're in the Vatican. They're right up there. Voodoo is the same level as the satanic energy coming from Vatican. There you go. I hope you're not practicing voodoo, sister, but that's your free will choice. Go for it if that's what you resonate with, Machua. All kinds of like major energy going on, you guys. Like there's all kinds of major energies with the election stuff and with the P. Diddy stuff and with the talk of World War III stuff, all that stuff. And so this is something that as light workers, as people following the Christos, that is something that we're mindful of. We're extra careful in our spiritual hygiene. Speaking of which, let's get that going on real quick. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. Sorry. Okay. Got our little charcoal going on. This is our grill. We're going to put some stuff on the grill here. Got some benzoin coming on in. Got some white copal, which is strong stuff to have in your spiritual hygiene. Got some gold copal. And if you guys have questions, please tag me, Christos Avatar. Tag Christos Avatar in your message. So it becomes highlighted and I can see it better. Here's some frankincense, which is great. The best one for your, you would say, protecting your space, saging your energies. I don't use the word sage though, because I'm not using sage. But that's what the word people use now. They use it like a verb. It's not a verb, but, well, I guess it turned into a verb. Machiwa. Cleanse, purify yourself, light workers. Machiwa, servant light, servant Christ consciousness, Christos consciousness. So what is Christ consciousness? Okay? It's not religion. It's not coming from Jesus Christ, because there's a lot of distortion with the biblical Jesus. Now, there's 3 Jeshua Jesus, but actually only 2 of them were named Jeshua. The third one didn't even have that name. But so we mostly talk about the 2 Jesus. That's the 2 important ones. The false one, it's actually, it became the false one, because it was supposed to be, the second Jeshua was supposed to be helping, but it got twisted. And so you will read that in Voyagers 2. Voyagers 2, you're going to read about how, we will go over it then, because this is tonight's video, so we'll go over that. But just realize that there's Jeshua, and there's another thing. Every time we talk about Jesus and Christ, we always get this people saying, oh, it's not, there was no letter J's back in Jesus's time. And so you're talking about Latin, Hebrew, those kind of languages. Maybe they didn't have a letter J, but the Anuhazi language, which is the alien extraterrestrial Lyran language, they have the letter J. I mean, you know, this teachings is billions of years old, because it's not limited to Earth. It's coming from a space of billions of years old. And that's how old Lyran is. It's 950 billion years old. That's the language they spoke. The Christos guardians spoke Anuhazi. They still do. And in the Anuhazi language, they have the letter J, and they call this ancient race Jehovani, connected to Metatron. They don't say Yehovani. They say Jehovani, Jehovah, Jehovah, Jehovian. Jehovani is Metatron. And so I'm just trying to say there is a letter J in our language. What's up? So it is called Jesus by the Emerald Order. Jesus, Jeshua. Jeshua 12 is an indication, so there's no confusion, because there's a Jeshua 9. What's the numbers? Has to do with dimensions. Okay? And Jeshua 12 comes from the 12th dimension. Jeshua 9 comes from the 9th dimension. It also implicates what their DNA strands are. The 9th dimensional Jeshua, his avatar name is Sananda. If you're in the density 4, I didn't say dimension, I said density 4. If you're in density 4, you would be calling that being Sananda. Our blessed brother Sananda. Sananda's soul essence, spirit essence, came to earth as Jesus, Jeshua. But there's 2 Jeshuas, Jeshua 12 and Jeshua 9. There's a third person, but his name wasn't. Let's look at that right now. Might as well. Go back to the PDF. What the hell? I've been sitting here on the PDF the whole time? What the hell, you guys? I'm so sorry. I'm refreshing it. No, what? I am confused. Why isn't the PDF showing? Or it is showing. Okay. So I'm so sorry, guys. I was sitting there talking and talking, I guess, with the screen on. Someone put in capital letters that when that happens again, please. Anyways, now we're going to go back to the PDF. Okay. I'll go to the top. Close out this search. And search for Jeshua with a J. Now notice there's a Jeshua and Jeshua, different spellings. Let's go to our homeboy, Sananda. There we go, right here. I just said it. The soul essence, spirit essence, was avatar from the fourth density. The harmonic, HU stands for Harmonic Universe 4. So his name there is Sananda. And quite frankly, there is no genders in density 4, so this is a androgynous being, Sananda. But he came to earth as a child. His name was Jeshua Melchizedek. This is what, and it says here in Jeshua 12. So this is the person that is bringing in the true inner Christos teachings. This is the person who was actually, it's very interesting because religion talks about Jesus, some Jesus, right, that was crucified. It's like a little bit sad because it's part of our warfare, part of the drama. It's not all about Jesus, but it's it's a big thing that affected our planet. What I was going to say is, what's interesting is that the Bible talks about Jesus, but they say all these other people are the ones who wrote the Bible. That's a red flag, you guys. It was Jesus himself and two other people, his sister, her name was Miriam, and John the Baptist. The three of them are the ones who wrote the Bible, but it wasn't called the Bible. It was called the Essene teachings. The original Essene teachings is what the Council of Nicaea took some of that and twisted 90% of it. But they also added some other lore from Egypt, from Syria, Babylonia. They added more teachings into that. That is the canonized Bible. That's what became what you read today as the Bible. So isn't that interesting? It was Jesus who wrote the freaking information. Not Matthew, not Mark, not Luke, not John, not these other people in the Old Testament, the New Testament. That's a bunch of BS according to these teachings. It was only written by three people. Jesus, Jeshua, Sananda, Melchizedek. Okay? And John the Baptist and Miriam. And while we're on that topic, Oceana was the incarnate of Miriam. So Oceana was there. She was there in those time periods. She was an Essene. Essenes come out of our family tree, out of the angelic humans. So yeah, it's very interesting how they talk about Jesus, but they totally twist the story of Jesus. And then people in religion are going to think I'm the one, or whoever else is talking a different story of Jesus, that we're the ones coming up with some twisted distortion. Hello. Our teachings are unity. Christ consciousness, the true creeds are love, unconditional love. Have you ever heard of omni-love? If you haven't been through these teachings, you probably never heard of omni-love. Because that's what these teachings are coming from. We're all about loving everything. We're about loving unconditionally. We're about peace. In the Bible, it's not about peace. It's about war and death. And, just like our friend was asking about this Hindu god, it's all about this death and destruction and sacrifice and conquering. And whoa! That's the false teachings of the Bible. That's what we expose. That's the difference between that Jesus Christ and the Jeshua Sananda Melchizedek Jesus. Whole different message. Our teachings are all about what I just mentioned. Plus, it's about reverent respect for all life. It's about responsibility, accountability, impeccability. Okay? It's about trust. It's about grace. Does that sound like the Bible to you? Jesus in the Bible was calling for sacrifice, was calling for death, torture. My father does this to me. My father's going to have me tortured because I'm supposed to be a blood ritual sacrifice. So, that's depressing information. That's sad. That's why when you're a starseed and indigo, you don't resonate with that message. It becomes very confusing. Because we want to say, hey, behave like Jesus did, but not that one. I mean, Jesus in the Bible said a lot of cool, nice things, but it's still tied to Yahweh and blood ritual sacrifice and putting something between God and yourself, a Messiah. So we want to say, behave and act like Jesus did, but the 12th dimensional avatar Jesus, who is basing the Essenes were a mystical school of thought, right? The Hebrew mystical school. Okay, the ancient Hebrews, just like the current Egyptians don't represent the ancient Egyptians, well, the current Hebrews, Jewish people, do not represent the beginning Hebrews, who were considered by starseeds, by as in two starseeds in one. A Hebrew is a Hebrew starseed mixed with a Melchizedek starseed. Hebrew plus Melchizedek equals Hebrew starseed. You don't see no starseed Hebrews now in Jerusalem, in Israel. So, same with the Ceres Egyptians, the guardian Egyptians. You don't see those in Egypt now. Just like we just did an interview with our brother BJ, Sir Madism. It's hard to say that because you got to think about madism. Okay, madism. Because Americans don't use the Z, we use the S-ism. So I have to think about it every time I see that username, madism. So we did an interview with Sir Madism, and we learned all about how this sexist patriarchal Islam truly has this negative vibe to it. That's what you get from religion. And even though Christians are a little bit more kinder than that, I mean, they treat their women a little bit better, right? At least Christian women don't have to hide their faces. But we're not trying to compare apples to oranges or whatever, They're distorted teachings trying to lead you astray into some dark, false creeds. Such as fear. No, fear God? No. What are you talking about? Oh, you will probably fear someone who's murdering babies and children and women, men, and the animals. But, that's all the Bible for you, baby. That's religion for you. Religion, you learn. In these teachings, religion comes from fallen angels. It comes from Luciferians. It comes from Satanists. They got you believing that you're worshiping a god. You're actually worshiping Satan and Lucifer, not a person, not an individual, a race of ETs. Luciferians are extraterrestrial Inky Anunnaki. Plus they're combined with Marduk Anunnaki and the Necromaton beetle people. That's what Luciferians are. An ET race, homies. It didn't come from the Bible. It came from outer space. And they got involved with our people, our race, our planet, instilled religion. They brought religion to us. That's not something, a lot of people say man created religion. No, man did not. And also God did not create religion. It was extraterrestrial multidimensionals who created religion. Phantom beings, demonic beings, fallen angelic beings created religion. They created gods. They created messiahs. They created subservience. They created blood rituals. They created fear. They command you to fear gods, God, whatever God. You see what I'm saying? It's all a farce. It's all a hoax. It's all a scam. Religion is not God. And then you will have believers in Christ, in Jesus, in Jehovah, in Yahweh, in Islam, in Brahma. You will have these people saying, oh, God is angry. God is a judger. God is, These people have not awoken. They're in distortion. They're in the phantom, just like the religion is. And so we're trying to raise our consciousness, transmute that death energy. Our teacher, Ashiana, calls it Metatronic death science. It is Metatron who created the Phantom Matrix. So many people praise this consciousness. It is the Jehovah, Jehovanians who were once upon a time good. It doesn't matter anymore because they're not good anymore. But once upon a time they were good, and they created the Anu Elohim. Within Jehovanian Ascended Masters is a smaller ascended group called Metatron. It is the Metatronic Ascended Masters who went into the fall, who fell into Phantom Matrix, into hell, into Hades. It is these beings who created it by attacking and murdering and conquering 250 billion years ago. It's not coming from your brother Anuhazi. I'm not making stuff up. This isn't my personal ideas and opinions. It's in here. Metatron is not your friend. Metatron death science is where religion is coming from, is what religion is based on. It's based on Metatronic death science. It's based on, for you New Agers, that translates to reverse Merkaba. Instead of life-giving Merkaba, it's Metatronic death science Merkaba. Reverse life. Reverse God. Anti-God. This is why we have this word called Antichrist. Antichristos. This is where you get torture. This is where you get sacrifice. It comes from anti-life. It comes from Metatron. It comes from fallen angels. It comes from demons. It comes from the phantom. We transmute phantom. We transmute Metatron. We transmute religion. We transmute Jehovah, Yahweh, Brahma, Hindu gods, Chinese gods, all kinds of gods in being worshipped who bring us voodoo, who bring us Jeshua, black magic, witchcraft, Wicca, astrology, tarot. I know you guys will all disagree with me, but even Enoch says it himself. All these practices, all this occult stuff, all this Freemasonry, all this Illuminati comes from the fallen angels, homies. Are you Christ consciousness or not? You see the occult symbols in the tarot cards themselves. In the tarot card. Don't talk about the shuffling of the deck. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the symbols and the energy from the cards. We're talking about the astrology, the gods. We talked about the gods at the beginning of this video. A bunch of false gods are in astrology. That is what you're aligning yourself to. You're aligning yourself to Zeus, Apollo, if you're calling it the Roman gods, or it's Kronos, if you're following the Greek gods. So remember, these gods are worse than humans, man. There ain't no divine beings. They are Metatronic death science, and that's what the Jesus in the Bible and the God of the Bible, not a God, is bringing you. God does not call himself Lord. That's a word to put you in slavery. God doesn't call itself King of Kings. Anything to do with those titles, kings, emperors, are conquerors, man. They are fallen angelic war gods. All about death and war. There's nothing sacred about war, but they're calling it holy wars. Dismiss, transmute, holy war, any kind of war. There is nothing sacred about war and death and sacrifice. There is nothing good that comes out of that. Metatronic death science brings you misery, diseases, hate, anger, judgment, jealousy, and the God in the Bible calls itself jealous. The God of the Bible calls, these are signs of a non-spiritual being, a spiritually immature being, a being that hasn't figured it out yet, a being that's serving this horrible consciousness, man, representing death, skulls. Are you wearing t-shirts with skulls? I used to. That's one of the things I had to transmute. All of those affliction shirts. I started looking at my closet, looking through my clothes, and just like you change, your diet, you change your beliefs, you change your apparel, you change what you eat. A spiritual journey is about change. Jeshua, holy ones. I love you unconditionally. Even those who hate me. Bless you. You're part of God. You just haven't figured it out yet. Go heal yourself and come join the party. What's up? Bless you guys. Dragon Sage subbed. Jeshua. Let me see. There you go, sir. Sir Madism. Covering up your skull tattoos, for example. You guys, I love, if you guys are into all those twisted beliefs and stuff, I still love you, man. We can still be friends and hang out. That doesn't work with most people. I'm not going to mention names. I'm just keeping this a story. Like the 12th eye, the eye symbol, it's representing Thoth. Now, our brother Billy loves Thoth. A lot of people love Thoth. Just understand that Thoth is a fallen angelic compared to these teachings. There is so much talked about Thoth. You won't get tired. You will find it. All the atrocious, horrible things that Thoth has done. The eye symbol that's being praised in religion. You know, there's a right eye of Horus and there's a left eye of Horus. You will find. This is just one example of many. You will find many positive things that you think. Things that you thought were positive and good are actually meant to do you harm. So skull symbols, is power, is frequency, is death. You got a tat of death on you now. For example, you think the eye symbol is cool? It's tied to fallen angels. They are providing the eye symbol. It's a conduit. It's a conduit to the beings who are using this frequency. They are, bless all the 300 people here. These symbols invoke. It's like, I'm giving my free will. I'm giving my permission to invoke the Egyptian god, Horus. I am invoking the god of death by putting a skull on me. You know, in the Bible, they call it the angel of death. Another red flag. There is no angel of death in Creator God. There surely is an angel of death in the phantom false gods. You will better believe that this iconography, death icons, you may think it's cool, especially guys. They want to look strong. It's my logo, homie. What's up? You guys, this is what going on a spiritual journey does. You learn about all of these distortions, and you get to be explained why. Why is that symbol gonna bring me some misery? Okay, it's permission, it's free will, it's a sigil of death, and it's the same thing with people who can't stop cussing all the time. Profanity is bringing you a bunch of negative garbage energy, and you just running that, cycling that. Apparently, every few words, you're bringing in these garbage, demonic, profane energies. Constantly, all day long, you're cussing. All day long, you're aligning yourself with negative, freaking dark energies. I would rather have tattoos of sacred symbols that are not some god or connection to some dark religion or spiritual concepts. We actually look for peaceful symbols that haven't been distorted in religion. Yes, in these teachings, like the Kathara biospiritual healing, color matters, symbol matters, words matter, sound matters, light, color matters. You realize this is a universe made of consciousness, of frequency? The whole world is made of consciousness, of frequency. We are made of frequency. All those symbols, all those words are all frequency. So this is something that you develop your awareness of. You start to realize that, hey, there's a lot of things that I unintentionally have put myself into. Now I'm going to intentionally bring myself out. I'm going to transmute. You can be, well, at least some people are. They can admit to themselves. They could be brutally honest with themselves. Yeah, I made some dumb mistakes. I had some distorted beliefs. I'm grateful for learning unconditional love. I'm grateful for learning unity. I'm grateful for learning tonight's topic, Christ consciousness. Not some distorted religion. And we know how religion is affecting most humans on earth. Maybe you don't believe in any religion. Well, you're much better off than those who believe in some phantom religion. Phantom associated religion. Because that's what it is. It brings you into this false creeds. Now you're going to accept fear. Because God, supposedly God, it's not God, it's an ET. This godlet says to fear it. Oh, so now you're fearing God. Okay? And you're also taught subservience. So now you're lowly. Now you're worshiping because you're subservient, apparently. Now you're blindly worshiping. That means you're sending energy. You're sending your life force to another entity that doesn't have it. This being you're calling Yahweh, it's the Lord, the God, the King of Kings in the Bible. It is this being who doesn't have life force, asking you to send it its life force. Now there's billions of humans sending life force to these demonic beings that have no life force. If there's billions of humans sending life force to some entities in the phantom, those beings are becoming bigger. You're feeding demons. You think you're praising and worshiping God. You're actually praising, worshiping demons. It's about, you talk to believers in these religions. Talk to them. Talk to believers in religions. They rationalize the death and murder and sacrifice and destruction. It's okay because it's God. It's not okay. It's not creator. It's a demonic fallen angelic energy bringing you demonic fallen angelic creeds. Anything that's related to death, skulls, skull and bones, that's a sign of death. Those are words about death. Sacrifice Jesus, that's about death. Sacrifice little kids in Egypt, that's about death. It's about death. That's what that being is about. It's about Metatron death science, Metatronic death. Because they need it. They need you to worship them. They need it, literally need it. Otherwise, if you suddenly stopped, if all the humans stopped worshiping these beings, they would go into destruction. They are going towards destruction. They're falling towards self-annihilation. But they're keeping themselves immortal by feeding off of you. Bless you, holy ones. Okay? This is against what we're talking about tonight. Christ consciousness. They're anti-Christ consciousness. Anti-Christos, baby. And let's talk about what Christ consciousness is. Let me show you on the diagram. Machiwa, holy ones. Bringing it on up. Vato locos. Vatos in Christ. Christos. Gangsters. Spiritual G's. Oh, here we are in this lowly, you notice out of all this, we're at the very lowest. We're the most distorted here. And Earth. D3, that means dimension 3, dimension 2, dimension 1. Well, look where Christos is. Way, way up here. And this is not the Jewish symbol. We're not trying to align ourselves with Jews or the Hebrews. This is a sacred geometry. Do you see the pyramid? And the other pyramid This is a sacred geometry. It's not a trademark of anybody. So this is actually a two-dimensional Merkaba. Imagine this three-dimensional, and you will see the star tetrahedron for what it really is. This is a star tetrahedron. This is the Merkaba star. I am Christ star. I am Christ star. You're saying that you're connected to the Christos. You're connecting to the Christ, to the 12th dimensional consciousness. From a human way down here. Because we're multidimensional. You have a 3D human self, but you also have an extraterrestrial 4D self. You're an ET in the 5th dimension. You're an ET in the 6th dimension. You have many selves in the 7th, 8th, 9th dimension. You have many selves in the 10th, 11th, and the Christos dimension. Simultaneously. Okay? Not the distorted Hindu, Buddhist concept of past lives, future lives. No. Simultaneous lives. You simultaneously exist here and as an angel and as an archangel and as an avatar, as a Christ avatar. Part of your higher self that a lot of spiritual people want to connect to their higher selves. One of those higher selves is your Christos avatar. We're trying to learn how, in these teachings, how to bring in the Christos avatar. Besides learning the 12 attitudes of mastery, besides learning, the true creeds, we're also learning how to activate these chakra. See, it's a white chakra. You got a dark silver chakra. A lot of you new agers have never heard of these chakras. The dark blue chakra, the silver chakra, the gold chakra, the violet. Most people know up to the violet. You see how much you are denying yourself. 8 and above. You're also denying yourself the Christ, the Christos. You're not even aware of it. Instead, let me find it here. 1 second. Instead, you're learning about the false Jesus, the false God, the false creeds. These are the false, fallen, angelic, demonic creeds. In religion, they're the dark Templar antichristos. Gee, we're pro-Christ, pro-Christos. These are the creeds that are against the Christos in modern day belief systems and religions. Fear, anti-God, anti-Christ, guilt, same thing, judgment. It's all the dark side. Elitist, Sadducees, Pharisees, popes, priests. You don't need no middleman to God, but they're going to tell you certainly do. They say you need a middleman to God. They say you need a Messiah. They say you need a sacrifice. You need to get right with God. God never left you. These are the false creeds. Did you notice how most religions put down women? Like those Muslims, like the Christians, they're all putting down women in religion, in patriarchies. They put down the divine feminine. You feel the energy. Like our brother said, go to Egypt, you'll feel the energy. You will hear it, you will see it, you will feel it. It's undeniable when you put down the divine feminine. Okay, it's all about, we're horrible, we're terrible. Okay, that's a black magic spell. You're calling yourself a sinner. Now that's a spell on you. With your own free will, you align yourself with being a guilty sinner, and that you need to have sacrifice to be with God. You got to sacrifice a Messiah. You got to drink blood every Sunday or whenever they have communion in your church. You're gonna worship. You're gonna praise and celebrate death and sacrifice through blood drinking and flesh eating. This is all death science, man. It's all Metatronic death science. It is demonic. It is fallen angelic. It is anti-Christos. And there's billions of homies following it. What's the alternative? Well, it's not considered an alternative. It's considered the original creeds. These are the original creeds. Some of these are the 12 attitudes of mastery, such as respect and responsibility and trust are some of the attitudes of mastery. Accountability and impeccability and mindfulness and fearlessness. Detachment. Those are parts of our attitudes of mastery and the responsibilities of mastery. Not this garbage, not this demonic stuff. You ain't gonna find no Christ consciousness in an anti-Christic creed, baby. It just ain't happening. Machiwa. Bless all of you and your spiritual journey. What's up, homies? Homeboys, homegirls, lightworkers, empaths. Thank you, Stardust Goddess. Thank you for being a moderator and a member. No, Garrett, that's a good question, though. So did the Pharisees kill Jesus because he was teaching this? No. The Jesus in the Bible was the one who was dealing with Pharisees and Sadducees and the Roman Empire. So you're talking about the wrong Jesus. I mean, that's the false Jesus. And so, and I want to say that there's something called the Christmas story, the real Christmas story. Search the real Christmas story, Ashiana Dean. And you will learn, man, it's crazy. Like even the celebration of Christmas is crazy. We call Christmas something totally different. It's not a Christ mass, death mass. No. We celebrate the Jeshua the Avatar and the 12 days of Christos Mass, not something based on death and sacrifice. So you can see that, yeah, you're going to have some wonderful things said by Jesus in the Bible, but you guys, all of these teachings that are tricking you and fooling you, they put in some truth. And the rest of it is fallen angelic propaganda, false creeds. So you believe it's real or truth because it has truth in there. Your human spirit is fooled, is scammed, because you're picking up on some truth that Jesus talked about in the Bible, the fake Jesus, not the true Jesus that we acknowledge as the last Christos avatar. Jeshua 9 was not a Christos avatar. You have to be a 12th dimensional entity. Okay? That's a 9th dimensional entity that had to deal with the Pharisees. Now, he was a rebel. That person in the Bible was a rebel. He was against some of the practices. He was trying to pull people away from that belief. If you didn't, and that's probably why he was killed. Okay, so we're talking about the other Jesus didn't die. He used ascension mechanics because he was the last 12-stranded avatar. He could do it while he was alive. There was no sacrifice. There was no cross involved. Like a cross, X out. The Christ, X out. Twitter, X out. When they changed it to an X symbol, dude, space X, X, okay. What is Xing out something? Anyways, that's your Trump buddy. That's your Trump buddy. Musk is the same team as Trump. So anyways, we don't go into politics here. We're not talking politics here. We're not going to have a bunch of spammers of the politics here. Hopefully that answered your question. I just want to say that in the Bible, let's look at it. Well, we were on it. We were on it on the PDF. So let me switch back. It doesn't want to do it right away. So let me push refresh. Oops, wrong one. I'm going to refresh my screen real quick. Thank you guys for being here tonight. All right. Okay, now it's refreshed. Now I see the PDF. Okay, so we were here. Remember, it was Sananda that went into Jeshua 12. And look how they spell it. Jesheua. Okay? Now, this is not the one who was, the personages of Mary and Joseph were not the parents of this avatar child. This is an avatar child, a Christos avatar child, 12th dimensional being. So that whole narrative of Mary and Joseph went with the other Jesus. So let's look at that. See, the Elohim are the ones who orchestrated, not the guardians. It was, well, they say there was a time when Elohim was good, but anyways, the Elohim orchestrated the birth of the 9th level avatar, which is confusing to me because 9th dimension is not an avatar. So that's a discrepancy, but let me, one second. That's an oversoul. Ugh. Look at where 9th dimension is. It's an oversoul. Why they called it an avatar in Voyagers, I don't know. It's not an avatar. And so it's an oversoul. Jeshua 12 was an avatar. Jeshua 9 was an oversoul, also called an archangel. So Machiwa. Just wanted to show that real quick. So I'll go back to the PDF. All right, so I guess at this time they were good, the Elohim. But this is one of many races that end up falling, because it was the Elohim that bring us the patriarchal sexist creed. Because they got angry, they started to go against the guardians because they didn't want the humans to be angelic humans anymore. They didn't want us to go back to our 12th strand. They were trying to prevent it. So he was originally meant to reintegrate, what? And restructure the patriarchal creed. Okay, so they wanted it. He was meant to fix the creed. He was meant to fix the patriarchal creed that already existed during Jesus' time. And notice the spelling is different. This child was named Jeshua here in Jeshua 9. And the stories of his birth to the Hebrew Melchizedek Essenes, Mary and Joseph, are recorded as the birth of Jesus in contemporary Christian doctrine. So apparently this was also meant to help the Guardian Project, but we do know that it ended up being twisted. But here's an interesting detail. It was not born of Immaculate Conception. Oh, gee, his mother's a virgin. That doesn't happen. It didn't happen. It wasn't Immaculate Conception. It was the visitation. So not even her husband. It was some ET dude, Nephilim. So this is another thing that's confusing to me. We know the Nephilim are fallen angels. What the F? Maybe, and this was way before Jesus' time, they fell. Who, like King Melchizedek, was part of the entity named Jehovah, which we know comes from Metatron. Giovanni, Ascended Masters, Metatron, Ascended Masters, Jehovah God, Yahweh God. You see, Nephilim and Jehovah is not a good thing. So, but it was the one that had the mother of the ET conception. Through the centuries that followed the births of the two avatars, one avatar and one oversoul, the life stories of Jeshua 12 and Jeshua 9, plus another man who was not an avatar, became consolidated into one person called Jesus Christ. So if you're following the religion, you're not getting the whole story. You're getting a consolidation. Okay, so through the integrity of the Jeshua 12 of the Hebrew Melchizedek, the genetic imprint was restored because we have had problems with the human DNA. Jesus came and fixed that problem. Of course, since that problem, we've had things happen to our DNA again. But anyways, I digress. He became known as the Savior of the Jewish people for this reason. But notice they put it in quotes. Not a sacrifice Savior. So, yeah, this had something to do with the sphere of Amente, which is no longer part of the Ascension Plan. That was Ascension Plan A. Now we're on Ascension Plan B or C or whatever, not the original plan. In a greater sense, Jeshua 12 became the Savior, in quotes, for the races, for through his birth, the halls of Amente could once again be open, which has to do with our ascension, but that has changed now as well. Remember, this is from 1998, early 2000s. Some of these years have already passed and it's already changed. So I'm trying to show you the difference between the two Jesus. So there is talk of the three Jesus, but two of them were part of the guardian thing, and one of them, that third one, wasn't. He was the one that was nailed to the cross, even though it wasn't even the right Jesus. I've heard Ashana talk about this in a video series. The fallen angels who moved Jeshua 9 off of target, well, they started caring about this Jesus. They didn't want him to die and sacrifice. So they had someone else. You guys, these fallen angels, these extraterrestrials, Anunnaki, particularly the Anunnaki in this case, they were heavily involved in all these historical biblical periods. They were involved with Solomon and what do you call it, the golden box, Ark of the Covenant, right? They use those words. Those are guardian words, guardian properties. Like it was our box, but got stolen. Okay, so there's all kinds of distortion. What happened? What actually went down? This is why it's one of the greatest stories. Jesus is one of the greatest stories because there is some major truth in there. You see how the guardians, well, he helped save the family lines. The Guardian Project, he helped repair it. You saw it in the text. But there's some distortion in the other people that were involved in the Guardian originally Essene teachings. Remember, the original Bible or the teachings of the Bible originally came from Jesus himself and John the Baptist and Miriam. Now, Miriam and John the Baptist aren't talked about much, but they are talked about more in Real Story of Jesus by Ashiana Dean, the Emerald Order. So if you want to, it's a small PDF. It's not that many pages long, but if you want to read that, check it out, because we got Christmas coming around the corner. And last year I wanted to do it. I never got a chance, but you could better guarantee this year I'm going to make a real Christmas story video, a real Jesus video for the platform. So not everyone watches my lives who are my members, but that's okay. I will bring it out in shorts and all that. So just like I exposed Halloween, I'm not the only one. Other people talked about the origins of Halloween. We're going to talk about the origins of Christmas. Now, there's got to be some twisted shit in Thanksgiving too, right? I don't know if you guys are sacrificing and eating turkeys, but my family's tradition, they do that. But my family, I don't know if they will even have a turkey dinner. You know how COVID kind of broke up families. Our family isn't all come together like they used to now. So it's going to just be probably my parents, and my daughter. I'll see my daughter, so that'll be worth it to me just to see her. So, and my family. But I'm not into sacrificing and murdering and all that feasting. I mean, I don't know. You know, you don't want to hurt your family's feelings, but they understand what your beliefs are, I hope, right? So, and I just want to say, you guys, some of this, of course, is controversial. I'm refreshing the page. So you can expect people to disagree, and that is okay. People are welcome to disagree. Just hear us out, and you're welcome. I'll have Celine, and she probably already did, Celine, Indigo, any of our moderators will share the PDF to this. And it's free, you guys. These teachings are free. If you want to support Ashiana, then you can go to her website and buy these. You can pay money for it, but you don't have to because it's already out there somewhere for free. And so you can get Voyagers 1. You can get Voyagers 2. You could get Angelic Realities. And you will learn about what really happened in the ancient days. Here's another account from the Essenes, from the Emerald Covenant, from the Guardians. Okay, there's also Cathara. We can give you the Cathara link as well. So, yeah, it looks like they're sharing some of that already. So, oh, thank you, Celine. Awesome, sister. Perfect. I didn't even talk about a link, but you found the link yourself. Yeah. It's not for entertainment purposes only, brother. This is something that's a huge tome of spiritual knowledge, and there's nothing entertaining about it. It's actually a lot of, you would say, dramatic things that's going on in actual religion. That's your entertainment. It's not really fun entertainment, but you know, this drama is pretty ancient, and it's coming from religion. That is the entertainment, you could say. This we're not here play acting, man. You got the material, some of the beginner's material. You guys can check that out and decide for yourself. Okay, it's not dogma. It's not based on you need to do this and that and that. This is about free will, creator God, source God, not all these monotheistic and polytheistic ET gods. The God, the creator God, source God, God force, gave us free will. That means when God gives you, here's free will. Do whatever the F you want. But just know that my creation God said that, God's creation has consequence. If you do these things in the hologram, you're going to have these results. 11:11. Dude, I swear. It says average view duration is 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Thank you, bless us. There's another sign, a positive sign. So, yeah, isn't it weird how it just switches, man? Yeah. It goes up like this, across like that, and down like that. Let me wait for it to go past a certain path, and I'll show you a screenshot of this. It's unbelievable. Anyways, let me put some more incense on. This is what we're doing, you guys. We're giving the documents. You can check the information, the teachings, and check it out for yourself. You decide with your free will, holy ones, if you're going to keep on. And maybe some of the stuff will awaken you. It changed my whole life. Lots of people here talk about it changing their life. Machiwa. Well, we talk about chosen ones, brother. Anyways, yeah. This is, let me see, 7:30. Still 7:30. Putting some more Kapal. We gotta have some amber. I just want to say, you guys, even though we're talking about Jesus because it's necessary in this context, yeah, now I can show you a screenshot of this whole thing that keeps happening on my lives. Screenshot. Okay, that's good. Let me show you what in the world. Let me show you what I see. Look, this is when 300 people are here. Just out of nowhere, skyrockets up. They're here for 10, 15 minutes, and then it's all gone. It's not like a journey like this, slowly up or slowly back down. This is why this is suspicious stuff going on. You see how naturally it goes up. This is not natural. Just saying. I don't know what the F that is. I have no idea. I'll have to figure out. I mean, it doesn't matter to me if it's a bunch of fake views, but, what the F, right? Dragon Shade? Oh, you said Dragon Shade. Sade. That's a singer's name, Sade. I used to love Sade, man, back in the day. Dragon Sage. Bless you. What's up, Holy One? Colorado, true. Religion is the current reality. It's actually, I guess you can call it reality, but it's drastically changing. Are you trying to say it's drastically? You remember, it's an ancient book. It doesn't change. They're not correcting the Bible or creating a new version of the Bible that everyone's going to start buying and reading. How is it changing? It hasn't changed since Atlantis. It's ancient. I mean, the Patriarchal Creed. Changing to what? Connection, but connection with our contracts. What contracts? You made a contract? Who did you make a contract with? Okay, when we talk about the Bible, when we talk about religion, we're talking about what they talk about and what they do. What does the divine being, the deity, what does the deity do? What does the deity represent? You don't see an awakening happening in the church, Holy One. You don't see people coming out of it and changing. Changing how? You know, it's like people are still judging from religion. People are still going to church, still teething the church, teething as in giving money. They're still judging other humans, saying you're not a believer, you're going to the lake of fire. What has changed? Look into the world. Do you see some type of change? You see, it is because of the unchanging religion and its unchanging false creeds why earth is falling. According to these teachings, earth falls into hell, into phantom. Doesn't ascend, it descends. A large portion, billions of people following religion, following phantom, speaking phantom, thinking judgment and hate and fear and sacrifice. That is pulling you, aligning you, not changing for something. Grains. Oh, you guys are talking about diet? Repent and seek the guardians, yo. Repent and find your inner Christ. What's up? You can find Christ without blood, without death. You know, without judgment. Without sacrifice, without torture, you can find Christ, what the ancients call Christos. You can find Christos. You don't need to repent. I just like how Zoto said that, right? Find your inner Christ, Holy One. You don't. What are you doing looking out here? Where's God? Where? You're not looking somewhere out here for God. You don't need some self-proclaimed archangel. Okay? You don't need a godlet, an ET godlet, whatever you call it, Jehovah God, Father God, King of Kings. You don't need a King of Kings. You don't need a sacrifice Messiah. To find God, to be connected to God. Man, I swear, just today, I had people talking about this. Just today. Making their religious comments and all their twisted, you know. Which brings my attention to, you guys, I have to say this publicly, even once. I have to say this publicly. Because last live, we did a Billy Carson tour of Egypt video, and most people loved it. Like I would say 98% of the comments were positive. Of course, there's a couple of people who are now saying, I changed my position. I have not changed my position. I'm still going to expose Anunnaki. I'm still going to make Anunnaki videos. And first of all, that video was not about Billy Carson, was it? Did you watch it? It wasn't about Billy Carson. It was about the tour of Egypt and my friend BJ who went to it and all the wonderful things he experienced there. It wasn't about Billy Carson or his wife. I'm not in bed with Billy Carson if I have an interview with him. I'm not in bed with Elizabeth and their teachings and what they represent if I have an interview with her. I am open-minded. I am not suddenly against the Christos. Where is this? Where is that coming from? Okay? Billy Carson said hello in our chat. His wife did too, if you didn't notice. Does that mean I'm in bed with the Carsons? That is ridiculous. You are ridiculous. Those people who saying that. I am open to a dialogue with both of them. And I will, most likely. We will have interviews with both of them. We can come together in Christ consciousness. We can come together in unity. We can come together with Billy and Elizabeth Carson in the things that we agree with. We can come to the things that we say, yeah, we're pro-Christ consciousness. Billy Carson is pro-Christ consciousness. Okay? And, there's going to be spiritual schmucks anyways. Whatever you do, you cannot please everybody. You're still going to have some low-vibe people who can't be leaving pleasant comments based on unity and Christ consciousness. Nope! They just got to say some ridiculous... We got 111 likes. Another 11, 11, 111, 11, 11, 111. You're still gonna have even people in the Christos, even Christos followers are gonna say some shit. Go ahead. I'm still gonna have an interview with Billy Carson. I'm still gonna have an interview, even though he's teaching Anunnaki. We're going to come together in our agreements. We're going to share these values that are Christ-like, unity-based, loving, based on loving, and we're going to make, co-create. We're going to co-create together. So let the haters hate and stay in that vibration. Let the haters judge and stay in that energy. Go ahead, homie. If that's what you want to do, go for it, baby. Because you haven't learned a damn thing, have you? You haven't learned nothing, have you? Machiwa. That is the lessons. That's the lessons of Christ consciousness. That you can come together and disagree and still be nice to each other. Still have reverent respect for Billy Carson. Still have love for Billy Carson. Even if it's if you find some mass murder example, you can love a Hitler. You can love, P. Diddy. You can love these monsters, man. You can love the Illuminati. Do you truly? This is a sincere, genuine question. Do you truly know what is unity consciousness? Do you truly understand it, man? Are you speaking it? Are you living it? That's my question to all of you. Like I said, a high 90%. I only got 3 bad people, or 3 bad comments on that video. 1 on Instagram and 2 on YouTube. The rest were beautiful and pleasant and people who get it. Machiwa to all of you. And bless Billy and bless Elizabeth. That's all I got to say right now. Anyways. I'm going to get lit, homies, because it's time to just relax and chill. Couple seconds. Woohoo! Party time! Thank you for your patience. And I'm sorry that I raised my voice a little bit. I didn't mean to scare your dogs or scare you. I am just full of energy, not anger. I'm full of energy. You said it, Elixir Vision. And hello, by the way. Yeah, I voiced my opinion about Billy's teaching Anunnaki, and I would bring that up to him. Lovingly, like respectfully, I would, and calmly. First, he's got to agree to it. We haven't talked about that yet. I mean, I haven't asked him for an interview yet, but I will. Probably after the holidays, after all this stuff, after January, when Christmas, Thanksgiving, and the presidency bullshit and the drama is through, I will approach them for an interview. And I heard Billy Carson agrees to most interviews anyways, so it's not going to be a problem. And I will have a conversation with him before we start. I will tell him that, hey man, maybe some of my audience won't agree, but I'm still going to make an interview with you, and we're going to come to each other in agreement. And why not? You know, I've had several interviews already. We want to find other people. I mean, I've had other people on here, and I didn't agree with everything they may have said. Just like Billy, I won't agree with everything he teaches, right? Am I meant to be not co-creating with him? Am I supposed to not, do interviews and talk to people? Like, most likely, if I start going to these conventions again, I will see these people there. Am I going to be, oh, shame on you, what are you doing? Oh, those kind of people, you transmute, baby. And if you guys are on your spiritual journey long enough, you can handle it. You can handle some people disagreeing with you and being disrespectful and unkind. You can handle it. It's not going to make you cry and weak and like a little sheep. You're going to stand in your conviction and allow. The Guardians allow phantoms. The Guardians allow the path of chaos, but they don't, they're not going to condone that energy. They're not going to condone that, but they're still going to love. You understand what angels and archangels and avatars, they're not going to condone the Metatronic death science teachings or anything that comes out of it. But they allow it, just like they allowed, hear me very carefully, they allowed the Armentana. They allowed Armentana to be destroyed, man. That Christ consciousness. That is omni-love. Loving everything. No matter what. No matter if you're an Anunnaki lover. What's up? You still love these people, all people. And their all beliefs. Like, you respect, that's what I meant, respect. You respect these people. You love all. Do you love all or not? If you're saying you love some people, you can't love all people, then you're not practicing omni-love. We're not perfect. You know, we're striving to be better versions of ourselves. So a couple of you wanted to get lit. Stephen Oswald wants to get lit. Stardust Goddess and Celine, of course. Colorado's eating the popcorn? Is that what you're doing? That is popcorn, right? Wait, it looks like popcorn. Is that like Pikachu coming out of something? I don't know what. That's my old man eyes, right? Celine Indigo party. Hugh Lee does, of course. Thank you, brother. Etheric Mystic. Bless you. Thank you for your positive feedback. It makes a difference because there's plenty of people. I mean, there's definitely people who aren't like that. Oh, yeah, it would be an epic interview. It would be a very awesome interview because I know he's got a head on his shoulders. He will not lower himself down to disrespectful comments. I'm not going to lower myself down to disrespectful comments. And you better believe I will have all 5 moderators watching out for trolls on that day. Because we're not going to have a bunch of people hating on him when he's our guest. And you guys just realize it's not even difficult to transmute negative energies like that. You get good at it. You know exactly what those vibrations are. You know how to move them. You know how to not let that affect you. And so, tomorrow is a drum circle, but I am not sure if I'm going to go. I'm literally 50-50, not sure. So, only because I am in the middle of making my secret space program video. Man, it's going to be on fire. It's a freaking awesome video so far. I'm not even done with it. So I might not go to the drum circle because I want those extra 5 hours that I'll miss otherwise, you know. Anyways, man, you know, I wasn't always in unity or Christ consciousness. And just like most people on the planet, I was confused about what is Christ anyways. Because that's intentional. You're meant to have the meaning of Christ distorted. You know why they sacrificed? Do you know why they made this black magic sigil of a sacrifice, tortured, bleeding Messiah? That is a black magic sigil of death. Has nothing to do with life or God or the real Jesus or even Christ for that matter. You know, because I'm going to be going to visit my family on Christmas, or no, Thanksgiving. And maybe I'll open some conversation up with my mother. I think my stepfather is close-minded. He will not budge, but I think my mother will at least listen, respectfully listen. And my father, well, he's not into religion either, but he doesn't know the Christos, but, you know. So some of that is still not, confusing for him, but But when I hear my dad talking about all his lucid dreams of being an angel, somebody who remembers past lives, future lives, without the Christos, you can still be psychic without learning the official Emerald Covenant. You can still naturally gravitate to Christ consciousness without religion or any teachings. You can naturally gravitate to respecting all life, unity. You can find some legitimately honest, sincere, loving people who don't judge your religion, who don't judge your personal beliefs, who can just talk to you like a human should talk to another human. And it would be awesome just to get lit with my dad, who's close to 80 now. Wow. I believe. Well, he's like 18 years or 19 years old. He's like 19 years older than me. I'm 54. That's like 64, 7. Oh, that wasn't very nice of me to say he's close to 80. He's not 80 yet. But he's in his 70s. I just say that because I think about all the problems he's having in his health right now. My dad has some problems with his health now, and he doesn't take care of himself. You know, I just know that from the information that I've learned, that if I ever had a serious health issue, it would all be done through fasting and dieting. Hardcore. But I don't have to go hardcore right now, so I am still, flexible in certain things, but I really hope my soul matrix doesn't put me there, but my thoughts aren't going to go there. I'm not going to allow my thoughts to go there. You always capture your thoughts that are negative and transmute them as soon as possible, as soon as you have them. Charging hand. Charge with intention. Thought. Thought runs in your body. Okay, when we do the triadic phase currents, it's coming from your Mahar's shield. It comes up the prana tube. It goes up to the chakra you want to work on. That any type of energy, like Kundalini energy, is alive. It's spirit. It's consciousness. Run consciousness. Charge consciousness. Use consciousness. You should be able to feel your palm chakra. When you put your hand over something you're charging and running tension, you're running in tension through your transmission hand. Just as if you would put your hand on someone's body to heal. You transmit intention, manifestation, what I want to manifest into your medicine. You charge the medicine. That isn't black magic. The thoughts is what is black magic or white magic, You don't even really need to call it magic. It's you knowing energy, and the master of energy knows how to charge objects like this. Co-create. Machiwa. I just need my lighter now. Christ consciousness, a level of consciousness, a level of awareness, a level of identity. The Christos avatar identity, the name of this channel. We are learning to be Christ, Christed, Christic. We're learning to be and reclaim our Christos avatars. It's a consciousness, a level of awareness, a level of your identity, which is 1,728 simultaneous identities. So think of your Christ, your Christos, as a collective. You can call that a large collective, 1,728 minimum. If you're an indigo child, you have more. Because we live more lives, more incarnations, because we're doing, that's part of our work. To become teachers, wayshowers, trailblazers. That's our responsibility. It's one of our 12 attitudes, is responsibility. Be responsible. Be impeccable. When you meditate, you start to feel these energies. You start to perceive them. You start to see them. Not imagination. You have the thought. You think what it is that you want to experience. What do you want to experience, Holy Ones? Maybe you want to make an affirmation. I am Christ star. That's Christ consciousness. Christ star is the 12th dimensional Merkaba star. Remember, we talked about the Merkaba today. It's pure white. So racist people won't like that. Seriously. I've had some ridiculous comments on color of whatever. They don't like the color white. So, Christ consciousness, the energy spectra, the light spectra is white. Okay, so it is 6 inches below your feet. So try to, when you go into meditation, make sure you're mindful of your feet, that you're barefoot. You can feel the energy right at the sole, the bottom. You'll feel literal energy, man, between you and earth. It's beautiful. I feel one of the Kathara points, the one behind the base of the skull. Run your finger down. It goes into a dip. Right there is one of the Kathara points, a minor chakra. I always feel this when I get lit. My temples, feel my temples, my third eye, forehead, my crown, and that back part. And then I feel my heart. I feel my solar plexus. I feel my feet. I feel the ones behind my knees. Those are also Kathara points. Behind the knees. Like if you just got lit with me, check your body or check your chakra locations. You know the locations. Well, there's 15 of them. Let's go through them real quick. Number 1, it's near your butt. The red chakra, the first chakra, root chakra. Number 2 is near the groin area, the sacral. Okay, orange chakra. Solar plexus, yellow. Heart. 4th, astral. Blue. Archetype. That was 5. This is 6. Is indigo. Pituitary. Some say pineal gland. And then you go to the crown. Okay, magenta, or I keep saying magenta, but it's violet. This is violet. And then the 8th one, that's easy, gold. The 9th one, silver. The 10th one, it is 6 inches above your head. So that's easy to remember because there's one 6 inches below your feet. There's one 6 inches above your head. The one below your feet, well, we're not there yet. Okay, but we go from silver, dark blue, and then the 11th one is a 1.5 foot above your head. That is dark silver. And then the one below your feet, pure white. That's Christ consciousness. Those are all levels of consciousness that we just did. And you can see Merkabahs inside your imagination. Red Merkabah, yellow Merkabah. Oh, I skipped orange. Orange Merkabah, then yellow Merkabah, and then C, green Merkabah, see the blue Merkabah. If you want to see, you can see them as round orbs of energy. Like a blue sphere energy, indigo colors. Some people will say purple. It's not purple. There is no such thing as a purple chakra. Okay, and it's not an opinion. This is literal light spectra. There is numbers, mathematics, calculation in God. Jeshua. So it matters. This is why we be very careful with the colors blue and green, because there's a lot of discrepancy in those shades. I can name 4 different types of blues. You got royal blue, and then you got navy blue, you got turquoise blue, which is part green, and different baby blue, light blue, all kinds of shades of blue. There is specific, and light, it's a wavelength, it's mathematics, it's physics. God is tangible. You can break it down into parts, understand each part, and then build upon and see the whole. That's how reality happens. It goes from ultra microparticles, build upon each other. They start to create, it's just a particle. We talk about in terms of oscillation and vibration. It's just a particle until it starts to coalesce with other particles, group together. So the quantic units, they're called, they evolve into Cathara strands. So they make these strands of groupings. They come together in groupings. Okay, you get it? So single particle units are alive, they're consciousness, and they become a greater group consciousness called a particle strand. Now these are strands. Now strands start crisscrossing each other, like a bunch of sections. And now you got a sheet, or it's called a field, like the fabric. So it's turned from just a particle into a whole bunch of particles come together into a strand, and then the strands come together into sheets. Like now, this is like your fabric to make reality out of. Now it's Kelon codes. And so, no, first it's Kelons, and then they evolve into Kelon codes. And this is what we call our morphogenetic body. So you imagine that the morphogenetic body is made up of tiny particles that had grouped together into strands, and those grouped together to make grids, and the grids grouped together to make kelons, and the kelons are like sacred geometries, and you group those together and they create kelon codes, what I just mentioned. I'm just trying to add the depth to this topic. And so it is ultra microparticles that evolve into this show. It's an illusion, but it's the creation, it's the intentional creation for spirit to experience physicality. God, which is only spirit, which was only spirit, created physicality, but it's not physical. It's kind of like putting itself in a simulation, God put a piece of itself in a simulation, what we call the time matrix, the 15-dimensional time matrix. God created it, but also God put itself in many other time matrices. But we're concerned with ours, obviously. So our time matrix, our 15-dimensional time matrix, is our little hologram of God. We get to experience free will. God gets to experience free will and polarization and distortion. Wow, why would God want to do that? Ask God. Ask yourself. God is experiencing everything at once. You can't go outside of that. How could you even imagine that's possible in your brain, in your mind? How is that possible? You can't go outside of this field. You're within this group, this unity, this oneness, this one-ment, one spirit, one mind, one body, one God. It's just one. And so it's blessed. It's beautiful. It's so wondrous. It's so wondrous, you guys, when you find this light and you experience that level of yourself, of God. When you see those levels of yourself, man, like you see you're the small person on a huge planet, but now this is the power of the mind, the consciousness. Take that huge planet, turn it into something microscopic. So what are you? You're looking at the planet small. You're outside the planet. You put your mind into a greater level of the macrocosm. In Earth, we're seeing a microcosm. In our body, there's a microcosm. So we're a macro of the micro within us. And so we're learning this wisdom. We're transforming our spirit. We're remembering our heritage, our roots. We're finding out, hey, I'm the spiritual starseed, homie. I'm an indigo child. What's up, gangsters? I love you. We're awakening. Celebrate. We're awakening. My Chihuahua. Thank you for those hearts and loves and kisses. Bless all of you. I enjoy my inner Christos, my inner God, my perception of God, myself, of the reality of all of you. You know, you guys are part of who I am. You're part of who, and I am part of who you are too. Wait, I meant to say both, both ways. We're both part of each other. We're one. Thank you for those kind emojis, holy ones. Beautiful, loving, sweet, endearing. My Chihuahua. I'm awakening. I know you're awakening. You're Christ. You're Christos. You feel it. You stand in Christ. You stand in the true light. Not a false one. Not a controlling one. A dominating one. A judging one. A hating one. A warring one. An unholy one. Chakras, my soul. I will probably speak light language. A little bit. Vato locos. Crazy locos. That's what loco means. Crazy. You guys are loco, loca, locos. Yeah, we're crazy. Because we're just distorted. But we're still want to be one with God. And we don't want to mess that up. We don't want to make mistakes. I want to come here and do my spiritual will. I came here for a purpose. I want to make sure I'm doing my purpose. I want to make sure I'm the best version I could possibly be. What's up? Celebrate with me, homies. Homies of light. Vatos of light. That's friends. Vato, fata, girl. Does that mean there's a taco and a taca? I think it's kind of cute and lovely when a language genderizes certain words. So now you got to remember the gender of everything now, or you cause disrespect. Oh, that's not feminine? I thought pipes were masculine, aren't they? You know, you come with logic, and then there's the part of you who knows. I want to be the part of me that knows. It's not a, I hope it's right. It's a knowing. Man, just concede that you're a multidimensional spiritual badass. Just accept it. It doesn't come from a space of ego. It comes from a space of realization. You are a mystical one. Magic ones. You know how to move energy. That is magic. Energy, consciousness, spirit, God. You know how to Chiwakaya. You treat everything as sacred. It's God. Sacredness. How can you be sacred if you're not trying to be sacred? Not living sacred. Let's try to be sacred. Like, make that our goal, to be sacred. To serve as these. I mean, we call ourselves guardians. Well, let's act like them. Let's be omni-leveling. Let's bless all interviews. We may talk with someone else who doesn't believe in everything we do. Isn't that what people do? Don't people want to share beliefs and you know, people are learning from debating. People learn by debating. Why would you debate if you already knew? If you know something, there should be no reason to have to debate with someone if you know for sure from your experience and your understanding. I know. 1111? Yeah, baby, what's up? What's up? How many ones, you guys? Even the ones I didn't notice, and maybe some of you noticed all of them. Right? What's up? Respect. Thank you. God, Vato. Vata. You know, friend. Machiwa. You don't say father or mother. Mother Earth. God the Father. You're going to go to hell, Anuhazi. What? No, sorry, honey. I'm serving Christ consciousness. I ain't going to no phantom. Some people are. You know? Those people who say you're going to hell. They don't even know what hell is. They don't. You know how religion got it all upside down. They're the people they're saying going to hell. They're the ones going to hell. Okay, let's be accurate. They're going into phantom universe. Sup? And let's make it graphic. You guys seen my video? It's the meat eater versus vegan video. It's not hard to find now. You know those keywords. That video. There's no words in it. Only pictures, video. Check it out. And you will see how humans are treating animals. No. Look very carefully, everybody. Even if it's hard to look at that video, look very carefully. It's actually not that bad. You can see really graphic videos if you looked for them. I won't do that much to you. But once you see how humans treat these animals, how we're just butchers. Blood, flesh, chopping. It's freaking horrific, man. And so this is what these creatures in Phantom Earth will behave like to you. They won't care about you at all, man. They're going to put you in these little freaking cages and take you out when they want to eat you and chop you up. And this is graphic, yes, but this is how they feel about you. You remember how you can see how horrible 3D humans are. Imagine 11th dimensional dark avatars. Can you imagine that wickedness? If they're siphoning entire planets, man. Entire galaxies have fallen. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying, hey, some galaxies have fallen to these phantom beings. Whole galaxies, hey, whole universes have been taken. Not in our time matrix. Okay? Others have been completely taken over. The whole universal multiverse, 15-dimensional time matrix, their whole matrix. Well, I don't think that includes the antimatter density 5, because those are all pure. They can't. There's no darkness there. So 1 through 12. So there is a dark Christ, anti-Christos, phantom energies. Now you realize you're a phantom being, and you need, as a phantom being, you need to feed off of life force. People call that damned, but you're not damned. There's no such thing. You can always go back to the light. But most of these beings who have fallen are falling because they just simply don't want to go to the light. It's their free will. Creator God made this a free will system, and these beings wanted to go against Creator, Source, God. They found and discovered hate. They exist in hatred. And one of the consequences of Creator's time matrix is, if you're going to be a being of hate, you're going to lose this game. You're going to go into horror. All the things that you push, you're going to go into death. You're going to go into this state of being self-destructed, self-termination. And you wonder if this being ever wonders that it's killing itself. Being a phantom being, being a fallen angelic, being demonic, they're trying to sustain immortality existing. Otherwise, you can call it, if you don't understand Kalanta, you can probably describe it as just killing itself, this self-destruction. No life, anti-life. You go into a different space, it's reverse. Like we have positive numbers, you learn in algebra, and then you, on the negative direction, you got negative numbers, so it's built in. God built this in, man. I mean, God made it, put itself in all these little lives, all these different parts. God fractured itself into many frequency levels. And so then it made this place and then put itself in here, and then it goes into a spectrum of, like, into 12 dimensions. It goes into here and puts a piece of itself in all these dimensions. So that's the starting point, and it's love at starting point. But there will be distortion, like something called DNA co-convolution. That's where you're just having sex. You're just procreating within your dimension. Within your family line. There is no variance. And this becomes like what, incest, you're just going with the same family. And it creates distortions in the DNA template. And you guys know, if you somehow distort the body, you distort the consciousness. What does that say about transing? You're distorting the body, you're distorting the consciousness. This is the physics of these teachings. So thus is why they attack the DNA, so they can attack your consciousness. You are freaking angelic humans, Diamond Sun, 12-strand DNA, immortal beings. That's where you're coming from. And you're being under attack. Your identity and memory is being under attack. And you forgot. And now you're serving the bad guys, the dark beings. You're worshiping them. They tricked your asses. Most peoples believe in religion. They got tricked by these fallen angels. They created these ETs in multidimensional levels all the way up to the 11th dimension. You call that dark avatars, man. We're in the 3rd dimension. That's 8 levels above us. That's more evolved. That's why they're more intelligent. They can outflank you. But you're a spiritual being connected to your avatar in the 12th dimension. You always have that potential to outdo them. You see what I'm saying? Maybe we'll figure that out. Maybe we won't. But that's our potential. All humans have it inside them. We can fix whatever happened to us. Whatever happened to our race, we're trying to heal it. At least part of the human race is awakening. Not all of us, unfortunately. We would love it if all of you joined the party. It's a sick, badass, freaking amazing, divine, holy, sacred party. You want to be there. It's an A-lister, spiritual A-lister, VIP. You want to go. No, you're going to miss out. You don't want to miss out on ascension, honey. You want to spiritually ascend. I'm telling you, you want to ascend out of here. You don't want to stay on this timeline. You want to get your spiritual affairs in order, go on your spiritual journey, transform your DNA through this teachings, bio-DNA regenesis. DNA, regenerate your body, homie. What's up? With consciousness. Your body is made of consciousness. Nothing dies. Everything transmutes. It goes from this dimension to a whole different dimension, baby. That's transmuting. You went from this life, body, shell, vehicle. The body is just a vehicle for the spirit essence. Your spirit essence comes in. The body makes it alive. Started in the fetus after 33 days, according to Ashana, our teacher, or the Emerald Covenant teachings. There is no soul in there yet. There's no spirit essence it's just a biology. But remember, everything is alive. But that's the quanta of your mother and father DNA. So there is no joining of the spirit essence of their child yet until 33 days. So, ladies, you're okay. No, you're not killing or aborting anything under that. But after that, yes, there's a soul in there. And yes, there is issues when you abort a soul. You're aborting a fetus, but there's a soul in there after 33 days. There's a consequence. There's an issue. It stays in your fields, man. So, I've heard Ashana say it herself. When an aborted fetus, spirit, consciousness gets stuck in their mother's fields. See, it doesn't happen to men. It happens to women because of this connection. So unfortunately, so now I can't remember if you push it out after your next pregnancy, you'll push that spirit essence out. That trips me the F out, because what if it's another man's baby that made that fetus? I mean, it would end up being what? If it was the same life, if it was in the same life you got pregnant, you could push it out. But if you didn't have another pregnancy, that baby's evolution is stuck, and the mother's evolution, spiritual evolution, is stuck until you clear it. It's like you got something stuck in there. What? I can't move. You can't go farther. You can't go farther. You're stuck. The baby's stuck too. The baby's soul essence is not a baby, but nothing's a baby. That's just xenomorphs, biological terms. You can say everything's ancient, but that's not even 100% correct. Because nothing is aged. There is no beginning or end. God is always, they call it the Alpha and Omega, but there is no Omega. I mean, there is no ending. There's only the Alpha. There's only the beginning and persistent life existence. God is eternal. God never started. God will never end. God is everything. So, you put your mind there. You put your meditation there. You relax and think about Creator God. How often do you think about, how often do you think about this massive, massive, massive consciousness? Can you truly perceive this entire God field? The body is shutting off most of that. We only perceive, we got to admit that truth. Most humans who aren't woke, they're still stuck in those fields. They won't, They say that Christopher Columbus did not see those 3 boats because supposedly it's not in the context of their reality. Like technology like that does not exist in their reality. But here you are, some beings from another world show up on their shore. They don't see you until you come in. The people come in and start messing with them, right? Make them prisoners, put them down because they're jungle people or something. I mean, they say that. So, bless all of you, homies. Thank you for hanging with me on your Saturday night. Man, my days are so active and busy. I'm always working, and I'm not complaining. I actually love it, and I got the energy for it. So, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Hey guys, I know I'm not perfect, and maybe you don't agree with everything I say, but you like me enough, or you agree enough stuff with me that you're hanging around. Bless you. Thank you for being open-minded. Thank you for being Christ-like, for being Christic, homies. It's always a breath of fresh air because you get enough of toxic 3D consciousness, even within your own people you love and care about, or family or friends. You just deal with some low vibes from our own peeps. We're trying to stay high vibe, trying to just be a blessed Christic person. Be Christ-like, you guys. Be unity-like. Be Christos consciousness, Christ consciousness. Be what you want to become. It's ideal, right? Thank you for those hearts. Let's kiss. Right? Be joy if you want to experience some joy. Start focusing on that frequency Start finding out what it takes to experience joy. It doesn't mean all sex. Don't be such a perv. It's not a perversion. It's natural. Some people are perverted. That's a matter of opinion. No, it's not. Oh, you're all into decency, huh? PG-13. Excuse me? Yeah. Hey, you're not perfect either, and I love you. You point out my flaws, honey. I'll point out your flaws if you want me to. Some people just want the truth, even if it's bad. Someone said that to me today. I just want the truth, man. I don't want no sugar coating, no frosted flakes. I want the real deal, even if it's negative. The real shizzle dizzle. Don't mess with me. Just come out with it. Give it to me. I'm one of those people who want the bad news first. Give me the bad news first. I want to hear it now. Because I want to end with feeling good, not end feeling bad by finding the bad news last. I want the bad news first. So, tell me the bad news first. Really? No way. Damn. Okay. So, give me the good news. Oh, yeah, baby. What's up? No, seriously, guys. Even though there's, negative stuff on the planet, like low vibrations, low vibe people, we can still have fun, sweetheart. We can still feel good and be silly. I can specifically remember one of my earliest childhood memories with my brother, and it was raining. This was Prescott, Arizona in the 70s. Damn, I'm old. But we were running around naked in the rain. It was a freaking memory I remember to this day. Why did that come into my show? I have no idea. I'm sorry. But, we were just living organically, naturally. You're just joy. There's no concept of embarrassment of the body. There's no concept of nakedness. What? Where's that? What? Shyness. You just let it out, man. No, I don't want to see it. It depends on who you have to see. But what I'm trying to say is you can partay sometimes. If you want to, what's wrong? What's up, baby? You can say, okay, I'll be naughty, or I want to be good. I want to be, what's that called? No sex. I want to be celibate. What? But I like you. Let's have sex. No, I'm celibate. Oh, damn, that sucks. What, is that all you want me for? Sex? Sorry, guys. It's just a little side effect. I think you can deal with it. A little bit of silly. But anyways. Yeah, I could have done light language. For sure. I just know that Christ consciousness is something that our planet needs. It also needs you, starseeds, because you guys are going to open your mouths and spread through emojis and positive poems and positive music, and you're gonna do what's that where they make little pictures and it's like a saying or something. Like you put this on social media. You guys are saving stuff, sharing stuff. Some of you share my videos. Thank you for that. If you guys can share Holy Ones. And I wanted to say, if any of you, okay, let's make a goal, you guys. Please, 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 please. Goal. In 30 minutes, let's see if in 30 minutes, 10 super chats in 30 minutes. Bless all of you who actually care. Oh, yeah, I'll host a question. I'll host a Q&A. A Q&A session. Okay, we'll do a host. We'll do a question and answer session. Start goal. Bless all of you. I love all of you. I think I might have missed one actually. Let me double check. I'm sorry if I didn't notice. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sandra. That was a few hours ago. I'm sorry, dear. Hope you're still here, Sandra. Bless you. Thank you so much for supporting this work. Giannis 111. We got a lot of 111s. We just got 4 more. Thanks to Giannis. 4 more ones. Can we get an 1111? Thank you, Giannis. 999 is even better. Thank you, sweetheart. You're awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Machiwa. Etheric Mystic. What's up, homie? I like your picture. It's so cool. It's like it's, I don't know, a very lovely picture. I thought it was feline for a second, but now I realize it's not, but like more like elven or something. It's cool. Etheric Mystic. In favor of doing an interview with Billy. We'll do one for sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, sister, for the message too. Yeah, we will. And it'll be a positive thing. And we could even disagree if we want on show. I'll discuss that with them. I'll be open about it, man. And I'll stick to our agreement, whatever it is. We can come to agreement. Yeah, you said it, Robin. And we do this together. Wow, thank you, Sir Madism. Love you too, brother. Thank you for creating a space for us all to be together. Love you so much. Love you, brother. I'm so glad I met you guys, and now you're part of this dialogue. You guys are part of this energy. Do you not notice that? We're doing this together. It's a group thing. I would really love it if even Lisa Renee and Ashiana Iyasha would come. Could you imagine? And maybe even forgiving Speaker 3, because I heard Speaker 2 passed away. I don't even know if that's true, but that's what I heard. But why not get all of those people together, and let's get Carrie Cassidy in it. I hope to be in it. And we will have a freaking amazing freaking, you know, it will be medicine for everybody. If we can bring those frequencies, those powerful energies together on a platform that just talks about everything. Right? Because the other people do it. We got to get our people together. But I know already that Lisa Renee and Ashiana don't like social media. Ashiana made an exception only for Carrie Cassidy. So maybe we could get Carrie Cassidy to do it. To get some type of, and we can even call it King Arthur get together. You know, because it's a big thing in the teachings about the round tables and the story about Guinevere and King Arthur, Merlin, all that's real, man. Just like it's part of our history, part of our lifetimes. You know, there was a Camelot. You notice Carrie lines herself with Camelot. Yeah, spiritual ascension. Much love. Thank you for helping us out today. Much respect. Thank you, Stephen Oswald. Man, you've been a member for a year. Wow. We get more of those yearly annual members. Wow. Happy night, Anise Star. Thank you for hanging with us. Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I don't know. It's like, you know, doing this awakening with you guys. Like, it's like, we also know there's a lot of guardians. All of our different guardians coming together. They're probably having a party up there, man. They're saying, look, they're coming together. Some of them are getting it. Some of them are doing it. They're cheering us on, man. We're the one bringing in the high vibration for Earth. We're the ones bringing Christ consciousness, talking about it, teaching it, you know, sharing in it, expressing in it, speaking it. Not lip service, but actually doing what we teach. You know, what we preach, what we actually doing it, not just saying, oh, I'm this and I'm that. No, you're not. Look, be what you want to, what you claim to be. Yeah, you guys, it's a good time to stop. Yeah, it's a good time. But thank you so much for hanging with me. You guys are awesome. Give yourself a cheer. Bless you, you guys. You know, for a lot of us, it's not easy down here. It's not easy. Sometimes it sucks. But here we are. Here we are. And I think there's a lot of positive stuff happening after the election. But that doesn't mean they could counter the presidency or counter the results of the election. So it affects all of us, even if we're not into politics. It still affects our country. And doesn't it kind of trip you out? Does it not trip you out that there's stuff going down in Israel, Iran, all this stuff? That sounds like the building up of some war. So, bless all of you guys. Thank you for hanging with us and putting up with this energy. But some of you were here since the beginning of the show. I hope we talked about some good Christ consciousness earlier tonight. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow, 50-50. Maybe I'll go to the drum circle tomorrow. We'll see. But if not, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. And I hope my secret space program video will be done by Wednesday. I'm shooting for Wednesday. It should be worth the wait. So even if it only gets 2,000 views, man, this is going to be a badass video. I can't wait to start going into that. Like doing both the Christos and super secret space program information, because it's all we need to know about the aliens. We need to know what people are saying in high places of the planet. They know this information. They're talking about this information. There's always been some rumor of disclosure. Disclosure is happening. We're finding out these secrets, amazing, amazing, amazing secrets, and also a lot of dark, dark shit that's happened. It's part of our spiritual awakening. the truth of the matter is, learning about secret space program is part of humanity evolving their spiritual reality and going into a spacefaring age. When it's already happened. It's a secret. That's why it's called the secret space program. And no, I'm not talking about Space Force. That's something else. Machiwa. There's actually lots of different secret space programs, competing ones. They talk about there being 22 genetic, this is called the Grand Experiment. Okay? They talk about the Grand Experiment, and there's 22 major extraterrestrial genetic experiments that are competing with each other. Imagine how many different humans on Earth are experiencing different genetic experiments. Well, I'll be talking about the Super Confederation. I'll be talking about, what is the secret space program, how it's involved with secret governments, secret military, black budgets. They do it through criminal activities. They finance themselves through dark ways, man. So this is against humans. This is anti-human. When you talk about secret space program, you realize there's aliens against us, and there's parts of the government who know about this, and it's compartmentalized. But a lot of whistleblowers have come out, famous people now. And so it's not just about Corey Good. Okay, there's other whistleblowers, other secret space program insiders. Okay, there's even like what's her name? Laura Eisenhower. She's like a starseed who's has some information about the secret space program. But there's also famous people you would know of. I mean, come on. Some people actually have accounts and testimonies of meeting aliens face to face. There's aliens in My Lab experiments. Okay, it's called My Lab is military abduction. We kidnap. They kidnap people. It's the dark side, man, against the free will, and they put you through SRA. They put you through sacrifice. I mean, not sacrifice, but like fear. It's all about fear and domination, control. You're like stuck there because they kidnap these kids when they're like 6 years old. Train them through the programs. They want kids. Did you notice it's all about the kids? So they train the kids to be super psychic. They pick the ones that are being abducted. They enhance these kids. Some of them will be super psychic, super empathic, telepathic. Some of them will be like super soldiers, fighters, killers. Okay, because they're going to be given this is super futuristic, high-tech knowledge and expertise. So they make these kids into super beings, man. Super incredible powers. And these people have access to med beds, healing technologies. It's all very interesting, even if you don't believe it all. It's seriously interesting for starseeds and indigos to learn about the secret space program. And finally, I'm going to be teaching about it. It blows my mind. I love it. And the reason why I'm being so fueled, one of my visions, one of the things that I've experienced, even if it was only for like 60 seconds, it wasn't for that long. But I was in either a parallel Earth or another lifetime on this Earth. I perceive it as being a future version a future Earth timeline. I mean, a future incarnation. I saw myself in the secret space program. So on another dimension, it was a higher dimension, or maybe I'm confused because maybe it was just a higher, more advanced planet, or whatever. But I was in some type of machine, and I was controlling it. I was in control of of whatever this technology was on my body. I was inside a machine of sort, and I started seeing all these alien text on the screen. I was like transported to somewhere else. This is some type of secret technologies or something. I experienced this, man. And you guys know I've had a UFO incident. So it's very interesting, to say the least. I believe the UFO incident was when my level 1 came in. My walk-in. I believe that's when my walk-in came in. But anyways, we all have these kind of like signs that happen to us. Weird paranormal things. Trippy things. You know, you better believe you have some type of connection to aliens. Bless you, holy ones. Machiwa vato locos. Yeah, Zeta Draco Tech. Not cool, right? Ah, thank you, Celine. Wow, I heard that. But where did you get it from, Celine? Why didn't you get it from me? Anyways, that's cool. Mount Shasta? Oh, I believe it, man. I think the same thing about Sedona. There's going to be a lot of UFO activity when I hang out in Sedona. At least I know there's a lot of freaking extra energy there, because I saw, and I had another friend that was with me that was witness. We were both filming a shit ton of orbs out in Sedona, and we were just sitting in a hotel room, waiting to go to some. Like the next day, we were going to a seminar, like a spiritual type of event. There was all kinds of people, starseeds and indigos there, teaching and talking and sharing. So that was an awesome event. That's where I met Golden Light Eagle. So he invited me, man. He invited me to a sun dance. This Golden Light Eagle person that I met at that conference, with my star sister Tanglefoot. So that was really an honor. We didn't get to go, but neither one of us, but we kind of lost contact with him. So, but yeah, we did an interview together on a podcast. Now I'm making my own podcast. So, I know I was trying to say goodnight. Sorry, guys. Some of you have some amazing patience with me. Bless all of you guys and your patience. And then there's a group of you who want to go and talk as long as possible. I got to get to my end of my day. You know, I need to eat and eventually go to bed. But I'm shifting myself to more of an early schedule. So, it's pretty cool. It lets me do more work when I wake up earlier now. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And I know this, every time you talk about Christos or Christ, it can be controversial for some people. But thank you guys for considering this information. You guys I want to give a shout out to all my moderators. Bless all of you guys who are helping out and helping share the important, valuable links we have. all the content that you need to get started in these teachings. Thank you to all my moderators. You guys are awesome, man. I can't do this without you, sincerely. And I love all the family, all you guys who are part of this network, part of this channel, part of this information. You know, we're doing this right along with literal extraterrestrial guardian races. Bless them, bless you. We're doing this together. They're real. They're here. They're there. We're here. We're doing this together. And we're a team together. We're part of the Guardian Alliance. We're part of the Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds. Bless you, family. Bless you, Emerald Covenant. Bless you, those who are finding the Christos within. Bless all of you. Good night, you guys. See you soon. Peace. Namaste. Aho. Say our affirmations. I am Christ Star. I am Christ Star. I am Christ Star. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. Machiwa. Good night. Peace, love, joy, grace.